South Carolina, TGD Radio presents Tech Talk with Cloyd.
And welcome everyone back to TGD TV and TGD Radio. We are here live from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We are in the Zeus Digital Marketing Network studios, and today we have Tech Talk with Cloyd.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Dr. Grind is in the house.
And we have HR3.
HR3.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here. I'm getting dog cussed, but I'm here.
Well, it's better than being cat cussed, I guess.
You
I
just
don't know.
dog cussed me because,
They just love each other.
Did you take pills this morning or something?
no, I should have.
Man.
I ain't slept in 3 days,
You're
so
in a
give me a
mood.
break.
By the way, you're inside. You can take the sunglasses off the hat and all the other crap. Oh, Al, let's talk a little tech talk.
The hat ain't coming off.
ain't
My
coming
dogs are gonna be on me. My dogs are gonna be there.
Oh, dude, we could talk 3 hours about that game.
Definitely.
I mentioned it on Monday, of course, another day that you were here. You weren't here. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll get that right. I need to get used to the weren't here
Who's
part.
taking the pills?
All right, Al. Tech Talk with Cloyd. Al's Custom Fitting Shop, Grind Golf, powder coating,
Yep.
pressure washing,
Pressure wash, you name it.
mopping, auto detailing,
yeah.
auto body work.
Auto scanning. He did that for me.
Yeah, I've got a scanner. I mean, hey,
Dude, is there anything you don't do?
hey, I'll tell you, hey, we just do the best we can do and go. It's a funny thing. I had one of my vehicles was down, and this fella, he says, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, I'm going to fix it. I said, that's where I come from. That's what you do.
You fix it.
You fix it, So
All right. Well, we've been talking, and you wanted to kind of recap those pieces of merchandise or new technologies or things that were shown at the World Am.
yes, sir.
So you're going to catch us up on that.
Yeah, the world, it was very, very interesting, and it's neat because you get to see these little guys come, and you get to see some of the bigger guys. So it's a mix of everything. So you'll see some great ideas. Like for instance, we had one gentleman that I met with that had invented a putter grip that was extra long for a Kuchar style putting stroke.
Yeah, he was left at the booth.
Yep, he was left of our booth.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's an arm lock a putting system, but instead of having to adjust the putter to add loft, because you have a forward press when you do this particular application, he had designed the grip to have the loft into it so that you would not have to adjust the putter other than just put an extension and a grip on it and turn your current putter into an arm lock putter. So that was very interesting.
Interesting.
The Black Ops guys, it was really
Black
neat
Ops,
to meet
yeah.
those guys. They were all really good, genuine guys.
3 of them were young tour players from the satellite tours around Florida and things like that.
That's
and then,
correct.
of course, Keith was the principal partner in the company. And
Yes.
what a lot of energy he had. I ended up interviewing him
Yes.
there at the desk we had. And, I went out and hit their shafts, and I ended up taking a Black Ops shaft and putting it in the 3-wood. So
Yep.
the deadly 3-wood.
We installed that bad boy the other day and put a custom green
I tell
ferrule
you,
on it.
I went out and hit it yesterday,
Yeah.
Hugh. I caught it twice. I guarantee you this thing went 158.
You
Guaranteed.
can't beat it.
Hey, it might even break a window now.
I had a tailwind.
He might be able to stand in the lobby out here, Jeff, and
I
hit it
nutted
through the
it.
plate glass window without having to duck
I
to the rebound.
nutted it.
You can't beat it.
I
Yeah.
nutted it.
You can't beat it. But they pre-frequency everything, so you kind of know what you're getting, right out the gate. And like I say, it's nice to see, a younger generation, in it, bringing up a company like this.
Right. The Black Ops shaft they're a Japanese manufacturer, and they do the 4,000-pound tensile strength pressure mold aspect to their graphite.
Right.
So there was several things that were unique and key. I like the names. They had the Black Mamba.
Yes.
I mean, who wouldn't like hitting a Black Mamba shaft?
Right.
I mean, my goodness.
Well, I can tell you, I've seen one in South Africa. You don't want to see those for
Well,
real.
no, I'm not talking about the damn snake. Okay, I'm just saying that.
But they're deadly, so that's a good name.
They're deadly.
But that's a good name for the
Okay.
shaft.
Well, thank you for going along.
I was
here.
trying to give you some props here, and
Did you wake him up?
I'm trying to give him props.
Yeah.
And this Mr.
Okay.
Negative over here.
Okay, all right.
You can't beat it.
Let me get
It's
a
all
little.
good.
Let me get a little of this.
Get
Okay.
the hell off of me.
Get the hell out of it. Okay, they got to spend a little bit of time with Bobby Grace over at his putting.
Grace Putters.
Grace
Yeah.
Putters. He had the Fat Lady Swings. That was real big for him. I forget how many units
You used to date her.
he said that they went through, but I think it was a great name. It was a great name, and but he has developed a skid pad. Now, actually, him and Garen Rife has worked on this thing, and it's some kind of Egyptian crushed velvet. It's all. But anyway, what it is it's a pad that goes on the ground that you putt on, and it tells exactly as soon as you strike the putt whether the putter starts rolling out the gate or how many times it hops. So you can look at this velvet and actually see how the ball's tracking
via discoloration.
Be a discolorization or a roughing in the velvet to where the ball actually touched.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So that's kind of interesting.
Can I go to a fabric shop and get the same stuff?
No.
I can't.
No.
Okay, moving on.
Yep. So but that was kind of an interesting piece of technology. So you could actually see after the fact how the ball's actually coming off the putter face.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna get some Alabama silk and make
some
me one.
Alabama silk. But and then we had they had the Club Crown guys were there.
Yep. Saw them.
And that's fairly big.
Yep. Terry Perlman was there with Galway Bay Apparel. He makes
yep.
good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Definitely.
So
it was
it's always good to see Terry.
It was really, really interesting.
Had
it was
Rucket nets there. Rucket.
Yes.
We got a Rucket net inside the studio, folks. We
Yep.
now have a Rucket net here.
Excellent. I saw the picture.
We got mat now. We can hit balls into the net. Got a little chipping net.
Nice.
We got our own little simulator out back.
Cool.
Our electronic feedback is if we don't hit the sprinklers.
Did you speaking of tech, and since this is tech talk, and you mentioned simulators, did you see the P3 pad?
Yeah.
The P3 mat?
Yeah.
That's pretty slick.
That's slick.
We're going to have one of those.
Yeah. We need to get one.
They had two booths set up there. I mean, had one booth side by side. They had one using the small Rucket net, and it was projecting the ball flight and all the data onto a computer screen.
Right.
Okay. And I didn't realize this when I first went up. I thought the one beside them was a simulator, but all that was a high impact screen. And you took the data from the mat into a projector and projected on the screen.
Right.
Poor
That's
man's
great.
simulator.
Right.
I mean,
And
that
it gave you a simulated flight of a ball.
that whole thing, $3,000
Yeah, it's amazing.
compared to what it charged. Look at what's happening to this.
We've taught some other people that were 35,000.
Well, that was the wholesale.
55,000.
That was the one that was 35,000 cost is 70,000 retail.
Yeah,
It was 35,000 to us to use it for our TV
35,000.
studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But this
Well, hell,
P3
you
mat,
got that? Write a check.
yeah,
Piece of cake.
this P3 mat
change.
was $1,300 for the setup that he had outside, which included the small Rucket net and the software and the mat. And then if you add that screen, the high impact screen, he said was like $1,100. I haven't looked at them to see where you could find them or not.
Right.
But it was a very realistic looking type of, had 96 golf courses in it.
They had a lot of people lined up.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that lives at Barefoot.
You have a friend?
Only one.
And it's paid for.
Twice. He actually has that same unit in his house in the upstairs level at the Barefoot Club. And when Monday after the Masters, we go hang out and have burgers and
Right.
and inevitably everybody ends up upstairs and hitting on the simulator. So
Just another damn party I didn't get invited to.
that's just next year.
Unbelievable.
That's what they keep telling me next time.
Next year.
Anything else we saw out at the show?
Let's see. Well, we had had fun with the radio roll. I'd like to thank those guys for coming down. Let's see here. That's pretty much a recap. There were some other putter companies there.
There was a company there with the Bird T, BIRTEE, Birdie T.
Okay.
It looked like badminton.
Oh, I saw those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have since been to one of the golf courses that evidently the pro there had come by one of the nights and had talked to this individual, and they had asked him to take them and try them. And he has evidently played now 2 rounds with those and just rant and raved about it.
That's amazing.
He says, I'm a teaching professional. I'm a playing professional. I would never think that I would put a golf ball on one of these things.
Exactly.
And he used the short iron. Look, they have a little disc that you set. You don't push anything to the ground. You just set this on the ground, set the ball on top of it. He said it didn't impede the swing, the stroke, or anything. And then he used the taller one, which looks like you just took the rubber tip off of a badminton birdie and set it on the ground. And he said, I used that. Absolutely beautiful. He said the tee just kind of flops up in the air and lands right back where you had it sitting at. Right. He said you don't have to go chasing it. You don't break it. You don't do this. Evidently, they're guaranteed for like 2,800 shots or something like that before they expect some kind of a split or whatever.
Yeah, I just forget confused with all the stuff in my pocket. Well, I mean, I have one coin and a couple of tees. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, it's like.
But
George has been playing with the same tee for the last 7 years.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. Well, I can remember back years ago, some teaching aids that had came over from England.
Uh-huh.
And I used to have this. As a matter of fact, I've got it still put up somewhere. But it was a system for beginning golfers to help get the ball airborne. And it was 3 small cups that basically looked like 3 bowls.
I remember that.
And you would use, one for the fairway, one, and it, for beginners, people that don't have their handicap established yet. It was just to help them get the ball airborne and and start to enjoy the game. And then once you get better, you lose the help.
Right.
So it's just very, very interesting.
Well, this is a unique system. Evidently, this pro backed it up. David Gubbles down at Golfsmith likewise took some, and he's checking them out as we speak. He explained to me, like the turn tee that we spotlighted on the previous program, they are going to start carrying that. And then he's also going to look at this other one to see if they need to start carrying that also.
Okay.
And so there's validity to this, and it was good to see the products coming in and the new products. And
speaking of new products coming in and bringing some really class to the golf industry, my favorite vendor there was Palmetto Moonshine.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
Okay. Now listen, guys. Listen, we had Zach in the studio here this past week and did an interview with him, and he brought up some samples, and he's going to be here for Ryder Cup Sunday for breakfast at the Ryder Cup. We're going to broadcast live from 8 to 1 here at the studio, coverage of the Ryder Cup and inviting people to come in. So
excellent.
Zach from Palmetto Moonshine is going to be here serving their Bloody Mary Moonshine and the Margarita Moonshine, and they've got a variety of flavors. But one of the coolest things they did, they brought us some jam. Their apple pie jam and peach jam, which is the same fruit they use to flavor their moonshine and stuff with. And that stuff was good, wasn't it, George?
I missed that one.
But that quart of Palmetto Moonshine Bloody Mary mix didn't make it through the Goat Rodeo Tuesday night.
I was going to say that. They didn't have a snowball's chance in hell again.
they get the good stuff, Well, we're looking forward to his working with us and
absolutely. He's also going to join the Carolinas tour.
Oh, fantastic!
He's 2 handicap. Wants to play on the tour.
Fantastic.
And we're going to try to work more closely with those guys. We think it's a really good fit, and I think moonshine's the new official drink of
Palmetto Moonshine.
Yeah,
official drink of the TGD Studios.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it.
And today to TGD Studios, tomorrow golf.
The world.
That's it.
Maybe the world.
The moonshine is taking over.
Yeah,
Moonshine's
Al and I are both Tennessee boys, and Dustin here.
Y'all were sucking on that in your bottles growing up. Yeah,
we
Mama,
appreciate
that was medicine.
Yeah, Mama dipped her thumb in it just to
it
get
was
you calmed
medicine.
down.
Oh, it is medicine.
No doubt about it.
I mean, we got it for everything.
Oh, no doubt.
If we had a fever, a little teaspoon of moonshine,
little nip.
Yep. A little bit of honey, a little bit of
that was my
candy,
grandfather.
A drop of lemon.
Yep.
Excellent coffee elixir.
Yeah.
So glad to have Zach McMahon and Palmetto Moonshine and those guys.
Looking forward to working with them.
Absolutely.
Really are. Exciting stuff. And they're local. So
absolutely.
Yes.
They're down on the south end, just diagonally across the street from the Harley shop. They got
spot.
tastings from 2 to 6 every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
I tell you
See, their main location.
I've been there every day for 7 days.
I was going to say,
I've been there every day.
Jeff's got his
We
own
wonder
chair.
where Jeff went.
Jeff's got his own chair with his name, with his little,
Hey, he's got a parking spot
That'd be his own mason jar. That'd be right.
with a handle on it.
That's right.
Yeah, but they're out of Aiken, South Carolina, or someplace like that, Andrews or somewhere.
That's just what we were actually, me and a friend of mine, next door neighbors, wanting to actually drive up to Aiken to check out the facility.
Yeah, they got they're the first legal distillery for moonshine in South Carolina.
That's awesome.
But and they've got
Well,
one
we'll
of the
have to-
steels on display down here.
We may have to take a road trip. There
Road
is
trip.
there
Road
is
trip.
a great golf course up in Aiken.
And I have a little bit of leeway to get us on there. So
Heck yeah.
There you go, babe. All right, now we're
Cool, cool,
talking
cool.
road trip. Done.
All right.
Okay, Al. Anything
Now,
else?
Well, I think one thing, with all the technology and the advances, I've noticed that this year they're scaling stuff back, and I've noticed this in the industry through the years. We push the envelope, and basically what I'm talking about is driver length. We went to ultralight shafts that weighed 42 grams, and to a 46-inch club. Well, does it go farther? If you catch it on the screws, yes. But mishits are a little bit more intensified than a shorter driver. So most manufacturers last year that were making a driver that was, say, 45, 50 grams and 46 inches long, this year the shafts they're going back in length. So we're going back to 45 inches, and they're going to 55 and 65 gram shafts, instead of the 45 gram stuff. So that's kind of interesting that we used that technology and we went that way for a while, and they realized that it wasn't worth the gain wasn't worth what they were putting
it
into
expanded
it.
parameters when they needed to be narrowed. That's what
That
happened.
would be the best way. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well,
But I mean, it's no different than watching yesterday, at Cherry Hills. I mean, what a great golf course. Got to go out there a couple of years ago with John Verrill, one of my students for the USAM. And, it's old school
sure.
golf course. It's out there in Denver. It's gorgeous. And they're all hitting persimmon woods yesterday with new balls trying to drive it on that green. Well, number one, persimmon woods and the new balls won't work.
No.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
And number two, when Mr. Palmer drove it on the green, the golf course wasn't in the kind of shape they are now.
Right.
They weren't as plush and as soft and what. And it just made me laugh.
Right.
You're looking at old school and then trying to do new. You can't mix them both.
And actually, there's a video on PGA Tour website
Yeah.
of that example yesterday where they were out taking the Palmer Challenge.
Okay.
Hitting modern day balls with persimmon headed.
And you can't. It
clubs.
won't. The new ball won't spin off of a persimmon head.
Yeah.
So you can't get it in the air. You can't
Okay.
keep it in the
So
air.
it's
Yeah,
just
you can't
a-
keep it.
it
in
just
there.
nosedives.
It just
Nosedives.
nosedives. Yeah.
And it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because Lord
compared
knows
to
I
the-
got a garage full of persimmon woods, but I mean, they don't come out to hit this new ball because it don't work.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay, Al. We got a lot of things coming up on Tech Talk with Al Cloyd. We're going to do another spotlight on Pure Grips.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
We're going to do a spotlight on Tour Edition Exotics.
That's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
We still need to follow up with Bobby Andrews with Titleist. We need to get
Yes.
him on the air. So
Definitely.
he said a couple weeks. So we're excited about that. We've seen the new D15s.
Yep.
And a lot of good clubs. Good clubs.
Good looking.
Yeah. We've seen their new putters coming from Scotty. The new Studio Series.
Yep.
So very good looking clubs coming
Very
from
good-looking
Titleist.
clubs.
Mizuno's got some new stuff coming out. They're
Yes.
exciting.
I've got the new heads. Anybody would like to come by the shop, please do, or give us a call.
I've got to reach out. I have sent out message to the Mizuno manufacturers rep here locally that we would like to get them on the air.
Yep.
I want to spotlight their new driver,
Yes.
which they're offering their new driver with any shaft upgrade at no charge.
Right.
How about that? Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
So
there wasn't a ton of shaft options with last year's driver, so I'm
Well,
glad
there's-
to see
that's
them do that.
unheard
well,
of,
with
by the way.
any manufacturer, you always have the option for the more knowledgeable, better player, or more knowledgeable, even high handicapper, that goes out and researches shafts and says, "I want this, really fancy electronic, digitally enhanced shaft." And the manufacturer will just say, "Fine, send us another $400 and we'll get it for you."
Yeah.
Right.
Where now Mizuno is going to come out in the promotion of their new driver and say any shaft upgrade is free of charge.
That's unheard of.
So
Yeah, I don't know how they'll be able to swing that.
I don't know
because
either.
Some of the graphite shafts cost more than drivers off the rack.
yeah.
It's just
Well, just the Black Ops shafts alone that we were looking at, were expensive. But
Yes.
now what they do for you and how they dial them in and things of that sort, impressive. So
yes.
again, we're looking to you to give us the insight and give us the knowledge and the wherewithal to be able to move forward with the new technologies and all that. A lot of stuff happening in the ball sector.
Yes.
We're looking to get Bridgestone on soon to talk about some of their new stuff coming out. Of course, Callaway's got their new balls. Titleist will be coming out with their new balls next year. So we're excited about that. So Just tons and hey, dude, you're going to be busy.
Awesome.
You got
can't beat
tons
it.
of material to put together for Tech Talk for Al Cloyd.
You can't
for
beat it.
Al, for Hugh, for George, thanks so much for joining us here on Tech Talk with Al Cloyd on TGD TV and TGD Radio. Don't go away. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with a lot of more exciting programming here just for you.
All right, guys.